Imagine you're in a wide, sprawling park, and it's beautiful. And you hear this wonderful music in the air. And everywhere you look, people are laughing and dancing and clapping. And children are doing these wild, out-of-sync moves. And you look around, and the cool people are just snapping their fingers. And you're right there with them. It's the vibe of vitality. But what brought you here to this moment? The band? Or was it your desire to be in the midst of people once again, to be in the atmosphere of connection, to be with others where you're reminded of what it means to be human once again? Perhaps it's that need to come out of your little comfortable bubble and be back in the midst of people once again so you can have the experience of your joy sparked. What brings you to this moment? It's creativity. It's the arts. And let's face it, in times like these, we need things that bring people back together all over again. Without a doubt, creativity has the power to bring people together and remind us that there is something that is bigger than us. There's something about the power of arts that have a way of bringing people together and reminding us that there's more than our simple lives. It's the vibe of vitality, that thing that brings you out of your comfort zone and reminds you that there's more to life. There's that thing called curiosity that revives you all over again. And let's face it, these days, there's something to be said for people coming together. Now, creative disruption is that experience you have with live entertainment. It is that energy that comes forth, and we recognize that creative disruption has the power to help us overcome any pandemic that might show up. It gives us a way to come back together all again. Now, creative disruption is a term that sort of sounds like one of those corporate terms, but stay with me. There's something more to it. It's the reminder of what it means to truly be human and to be together all over again. Now, creative disruption has different levels. It can be personal. It is that experience of having art in your life where it might be dance or it could be drama. It's something that brings you out of your comfort zone, that helps you experience something new, that sparks joy all over again. And creative disruption can also be communal. It's the way in which art has a way of maybe changing our neighborhood for a moment, sparking joy in our neighbors, and creating community vitality. We know that through creative disruption, art has the power to truly change things. And it's more than entertainment, it's an economic lifeline. Now, jazz has a way of being creatively disruptive in its own way. Jazz is the experience, especially when it comes to different artists and musicians coming together. Whoever shows up, oftentimes through improvisation, it becomes its own art form. And the musicians come together and they improvise and they connect and they riff, and it becomes something new in the moment. There's an energy that comes up. It's a vibe that stimulates us and it sticks with us. And it gives us the reminder that there's something more to life. It's the vibe of vitality. Now, each year in Hartford, we have this experience of transformation where people come together and they experience art in the moment. Over 100,000 people come together for the Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz. And the experience of the Jazz Festival is one where people come with all kinds of things. They'll bring their lawn chairs, their coolers, and some will even bring tents. I'm telling you, one year I was there, and someone even had a blown-up full sofa. It's the whole experience of being in the atmosphere with community. Now, what's interesting about Hartford is Bushnell Park is the first municipal park to be created in the United States. In 1853, the Reverend Horace Bushnell advocated for there to be this special thing called green space in community. That way, everyone would have access to that place of recreation, that place of green space, irregardless of your status in life, irregardless of your class, that space would be there for everyone. And that is what Bushnell Park is all about. We learned that music, without a doubt, is for everyone. And this came about as a practice through Charles Christie, a man who organized leaders and artists in the community to create this experience of art for community. Without a doubt, they gave their very best, and they said, you know what? We're even going to raise the resources to make sure that this art form happens in community. That's creative disruption in action. They believe in the importance of not only having the artists, but making sure that the artists are compensated even though the concert is free. That's integrity in action, because we're all in this community together. Without a doubt, it's more than just jazz. We recognize that the festival is an economic lifeline. It means that hotels are booked, restaurants are bustling, and small businesses are thriving, all because of a concert or festival happening in your atmosphere and people coming together and boosting a local economy. According to research from Americans for the Arts, each art event has people spending an additional $38 per person in addition to the art event itself. So when you think about a jazz festival in Hartford, 100,000 people means that $3.8 million boosts the local economy. That's jobs, that's impact, that's more than entertainment, that's really shifting the atmosphere of an entire city. Jazz, music, art, it's a key to a thriving community. And it's not just about the concert itself, and it's not just about the connection. It's the fact that it also provides a lifeline for small businesses, where small businesses get an opportunity to serve a whole new customer base. And that, too, is a boost to a local economy. That's creative disruption in action. Now, it's not just about creative disruption in this community here. It's the impact of creative disruption anywhere you encounter it in the world. So now let's take a journey to Tirana, Albania, a place where a mayor was elected, Edi Rama, in the year 2000. And when he was elected, Tirana was a despairing city. Crime was high. People had lost hope. People weren't paying their taxes anymore, and they didn't really see possibility in that city. So when Edi Rama was elected, he did what any artist would do. He painted the city. Bright oranges, deep blues, geometric patterns covering buildings all throughout Tirana. And something happened. People started to feel hope again. They started to believe in their city. They liked it as a place to live and to grow and to be. Something started to happen in that community where people were spiked up and started to see what they could possibly be. Crime started to go down. Tourists started to come into Tirana and see the beauty that had been created by the artistry there. Eddie Rama shows us that a visionary can truly make a difference. Even with some paint and some color and an atmosphere, you can start to help people feel pride again about their community. You can stir up that feeling of hope for a whole society. And that shows us that sometimes when things are worn out or broken and things might seem like they're hopeless, they can be made great again. And in times like these, we need to see the possibility of greatness in our cities. And that can happen through creative disruption and investing in the arts and investing in local creatives. Now, Hartford is at its own crossroads. Once known as the insurance capital of the world, businesses, many of them, have left the city to the suburbs, and now we have to find a new identity. What it means for people in the local community is we have to find another way. For Hartford's been left with a population of 2/3 people of color, where we're divided by class, economics, and even neighborhoods. But where there's a challenge, there's an opportunity. And we see that happening in this city where young people who are artists are taking their trade and their craft and they're making a difference right here in the city. And then what's happened in the midst of us is we find that the young are partnering with the seasoned arts executives, and now bridges are being built. Neighborhoods are being lifted up, and possibility is being seen in this community. Hartford is now a global example of creative disruption, all by thinking and reimagining what art can do in a community. In 2009, a group of us decided to take this idea of creative disruption and put that vision into action with the creation of the 224 Ecospace. A once abandoned art center was created into something new, a place that could be a thriving incubator for artists and activists with a heart to make change happen. And what made this space incredible was the work of local artists creating that space. An artist in this area named Dao Limbassier is a muralist who painted the outside of the building to look like a beehive that depicted the activities going on inside the building. And something happened. The narrative of Asylum Hill started to change, where people also felt hopeless or sad. It was revived because people could see the potential of art in a community and what it could do. The 224 Ecospace is a thriving incubator, making a difference in the lives of artists and activists in this region. The difference is, because of the investment of the 224 Ecospace, it's a safer neighborhood, it's more vibrant, and people feel more connected. But let's face it, artists need more than space and support. They need to have investment. In Germany, 70% of the investment is from the government, where in the United States, it's only 7% to arts organizations. We've got to change that through creative disruption and new approaches to philanthropy. By investing in local incubators and artists and change makers, we can truly make a difference in our region. The world needs creative disruptors, people who see beauty in broken places. The world needs creative disruptors, people who believe in uplifting and revitalizing a city. We need to stand with the artists, the doers, the disruptors, the builders, the brave, and the visionaries. We can make a difference by standing with them, for together we can truly invest and change our community. We can make a world that's a little bit brighter, a little bit kinder, and a little more whole through creative disruption.